You think you know the story. A fearless hero, a helpless princess, and a monster straight out of nightmares. But what if I told you there's a lot more to this tale? That the so-called damsel in distress wasn't so helpless? That Perseus wasn't just a hero, but a guy with a divine cheat code? And that the real monsters? They weren't just the ones with fangs and scales? Welcome to Greek mythology, where nothing is as simple as it seems. Let's dive in. Before we get to Andromeda, let's rewind a bit. Perseus was already a legend at this point. He just pulled off one of the most impossible feats in mythology, beheading Medusa, the gorgon whose gaze could turn anyone to stone. Now, with her head in his magic satchel, he was flying back home to Seriphos. But as every Greek hero soon learns, fate has other plans. While soaring over Ethiopia, Perseus spotted something unusual. A girl chained to a rock, alone on the shore. Her name, Andromeda. And she wasn't there by choice. Here's where things get very Greek. Andromeda's mother, Queen Cassiopeia, made the biggest mistake you can make in mythology. She insulted a god. And not just any god, but Poseidon, ruler of the seas. She bragged that she and her daughter were more beautiful than the Nereids, Poseidon's sea nymphs. And if there's one thing Greek gods hate, it's mortals thinking they're special. Poseidon, being Poseidon, wasn't about to let that slide. He sent a giant sea monster, Cetus, to ravage Ethiopia's coastline. The only way to stop it? A brutal classic Greek solution: sacrifice. The priests declared that Andromeda had to be chained to a rock as an offering to the beast. Her own parents left her there to die. Yeah, parental support in Greek mythology? Not exactly top tier. Perseus, seeing this nightmare unfold, had a choice. Mind his own business, or step in like the hero everyone thinks he was. But let's be honest, this wasn't just about doing the right thing. Andromeda was a princess, a king's daughter. Rescuing her meant more than just heroism. It meant power, influence, maybe even a kingdom. So, what does our boy Perseus do? He strikes a deal. He tells King Cepheus, Andromeda's father, "I'll slay the monster, but in return I marry your daughter." The king, with literally no other options, agrees. This isn't some easy fight. Cetus is a real threat, huge, ancient, and unstoppable. The kind of beast only a god or a fool would try to take on. Perseus, using his winged sandals, zips through the air, dodging attacks. His sword? Powerful, but not enough to take down a monster this size. So what does he do? One look, that's all it takes. Cetus, in mid-attack, locks eyes with Medusa's severed head, and bam! Instantly the beast turns to stone, crashing into the sea, frozen forever. Perseus, victorious, flies back to the shore. The king, true to his word, frees Andromeda and agrees to the marriage. But of course, this is Greek mythology, so things don't go smoothly. Remember how I said Andromeda wasn't just a damsel in distress? Turns out she was already engaged to a guy named Phineus, her uncle. Yeah, Greek family trees are complicated. And Phineus? He's not happy that some flying warrior just swooped in and claimed his bride. A brawl erupts. Phineus and his men attack Perseus, and Perseus once again whips out Medusa's head. One by one, his enemies turn to stone. Even Phineus, frozen in fear, becomes an eternal statue. After that chaos, Perseus and Andromeda leave Ethiopia. They return to Seriphos, where Perseus deals with his own unfinished business, turning the tyrant King Polydectes into stone and giving his mother Danae her freedom. Eventually, they settle in Mycenae and have kids. Their bloodline? Legendary. Some myths even say Hercules is their descendant. And Andromeda? She gets something no Greek hero ever does: immortality. Not in life, but in the stars. To honor her, the gods place her among the constellations, where she remains to this day. So, was Perseus truly a hero, or just a guy who saw an opportunity and took it? Did he save Andromeda out of love, or because he wanted a kingdom? Greek myths aren't fairy tales. They're brutal, messy, and full of gray areas, and that's why they've lasted for centuries.
Know you've been a good friend.
What do you think? Was Perseus a hero, or just lucky? Let's talk in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into mythology, hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from the ancient world.